Good morning, friends, followers and channel members. I say good morning, or is it good afternoon? It has literally just flicked over to 12 p.m. local time for me here in the UK. So great to have you all. Those of you who were expecting a live stream yesterday evening, my sincere apologies. Just life went wrong yesterday, so hopefully we can make up for that today and have a nice stream as we get rid of that, as we spend some time in a chilly Scandinavia. So I've just trying to work out where on earth we are to fill that in. We're in Bergen, that's right, and we are off to Copenhagen. ATC seems to be online as well in the middle of the day, which is fantastic. I'm loving the view. It's a shame, the scenery around here is usually stunning. It's a shame we're perhaps not going to see quite as much as that as I would have liked, given the low level of cloud. So yeah, it's great freeware airport as well, this Bergen, as Christian has just said. So freeware from VATSIM.to. Really looking forward to departing here, and as I say, I think ATC are around as well to help us. So welcome on board, guys. Good morning or good afternoon to everyone. We've got Spitfire, RAF 100, 602, Cardinal 22, and Mark. Good morning to you too. Hugo, Brian, Interactive Studio, SAS Pilot. We're in your neck of the woods this morning, aren't we? Dark Fury, it's a morning stream to watch on your way home. Wow, have you had a late night? I'll tell you about how my day's gone so far once we get airborne. Christian, good morning to you. Nabil Neb, hello. Strange thing going on with the jetway there, isn't it? It's freeware scenery, of course. Something not quite aligned correctly. Maybe they're just climbing in through a window. I'm not sure. Easby, hello. Nicholas Riss, good afternoon to you. On the negative side, you're home sick. On the positive side, you can watch the midday stream. Fantastic. Great to have you here. Danny Ruffle, hello. Why always when I just depart does Gav come on? Then you're trying to struggle. Do you keep going or do you quit the fly? It depends where you're going, Danny. We're in a cold area today. You may be flying somewhere much more exotic than us. Chris Padden, hello, good morning from across the pond. Peter Fletcher, they do indeed board through the window, apparently, now. Brian, it's 7 AM where you are. Yeah, as I say, it's just turned up to midday around about here. Danny, this is the freeware from 1B Actual. That is correct indeed. Matt, good afternoon to you too. Well, obviously in these not sky-high latitudes, but in these northern latitudes, the sun is very low in the sky. Makes for some nice images, doesn't it? So hopefully I have, I think I have given you guys the operational flight plan. Our training captain members can expect a brief on that as well once the flight has finished. Just finished recording that for you guys, so check that out once the stream has been completed. We are going to hop on board and we're going to start setting up our flight. So on we go. Turnaround state today for our aircraft, so let's just go through and get that APU turned on. So everything over there looks fine as well. Let's get the APU on then. Leave those turned on. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So APU is coming on. Let me just turn the tablet on as well. We'll get some fuel loaded in. So we can import this in from SimBrief, and current QNH is 1012. So we're going to tell our fuelers we want, what did I brief? 5.5 tons of fuel, please. So let me just type that in, and on real time, of course. So that's been loaded in. APU is starting. Okay, standby is 1012. Everything down here looks to be in order. Had a quick check prior to the stream starting, so shouldn't have anything out of place. Come up to the FCU. Our initial climb out here we expect to be 6,000. Get the flight directors 1 and 2 both turned on. Pop the constraints on 1012s on the Q&H. And we've already got the instrument lights all set up. Instrument panel lights all set up. Good. Is that APU up and running already? Boy, that was quick. Okay, well, let's get the APU bleed on. I'll just start a timer before we can get passengers on board. So we have got. Oh, hang on! I just pressed the wrong button on the tablet for the McDo. So let's check the operational flight plan against our payload. 13832. Yep, that's right. Zero fuel weight of 24.8. Sorry, that's the zero fuel weight. Center of gravity. Zero fuel weight is 56.3. That is indeed correct. Let's jump on to the Init A page and get our aircars uplink. So Stephen, question please. On the fly-by-wire mod, can we listen into 2 frequencies through RMP 1 and 2 at the same time? I actually don't know if that's been modelled. I know if you're on VATSIM, you can... if you're on VATSIM, you can listen to COM 1 and COM 2. I don't know how well that's modelled down in the control and the audio control panel though. Might have to have a little play with that. Christian, all of the tests you've done so far with the performance calculator have gone pretty good results wise. Give the dad a pat on the head from it. I shall. He'll be very pleased to hear that. He's really been enjoying doing it. It's something to get the head wrapped around, that's for sure. Bruno, we just turned the clock on before packs get in because we've just turned the bleed air on and we want to give that a minute before we turn the packs on. So it's been done now. So stop that, reset that. We can get pack 1 and 2 on. Now we can tell the cabin crew that yeah, you're safe to start boarding the passengers. We've got fresh air coming into the cabin. Keep that COVID at bay.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
So passengers are now coming in and boarding through the window, apparently. Flight number is, what's the call sign? It's Alpine today, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Not a real world flight, I just wanted to see this new scenery actually. And we've got some ATC, which is nice. Cost index of 8, flight level 390, minus 60 is our temperature. What's the tropo? 33575. So we'll get that in. Onto the flight plan. So we're expecting a departure today, runway 35 on the TINIG 2 Delta. Scroll down, find that. There we go. Insert, and the arrival into Copenhagen is going to be 22 left. And the star is the Testman 1 November. Now, just check the VIA for that. There might not actually be one. Oh, I've not got this loaded up. 1 second. Pin that there. Ah, we're not using the 1 November at all. That's only to be used for flight planning purposes. It's not the November. Go back, go back, go back. It is... Do you know what? I did have a look at this a moment ago and I can't remember what it is now. 422 left. It's the 2 Foxtrot. Now, for some reason, why is the 2 Fox not actually showing up there? So the November's not to be used for flight planning purposes, but the Foxtrot should be there. Let's open it up here. Arrivals. There it is. Yeah, so it should be Tespi to Trano, which is the to Fox. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. I know why it's not working. I've put the wrong ILS in. No. 2 to the left. Tespi 2 Fox. There we go. That's the one. And that's Novia's for that one. Insert. Flight plan 388. Ooh, something wrong there. We've got a distance of 447 on the operational flight plan. So that is indeed strange. Now, just want to check we've got the right flight plan here filed. Yeah, I believe I have. Let's scroll through and see what's occurring, shall we? Flight plan. Interesting. Okay. Clear. Actually, the manual's there for good reason. That is the same as the chart. So this is a manual like here. Would normally get ATC vectors from there. Perhaps that's why we've got the disagreement between the flight plan and the actual route in the flight plan page. We've got the wrong SID in the flight plan. Okay, the main thing is that looks how I would expect it to compared to the flight plan. So I'm happy to leave that and carry on. So onto the RadNav page. Let's have a quick look what we have here. I don't know Bergen Airport at all, so situational awareness is going to play a big part in this. Have we got any VORs? We do indeed. Fox Lima Sierra, so let's use that to our advantage. Fox Lima Sierra. There we go. On to the init B page. So that zero fuel weight is 56.3. We've got a wonderful trip wind today. Trip wind, a tailwind of 59. So let's pop that in. Fuel planning is 3.6 and we've got 5.4. That gives us a takeoff weight then of 61.5. Fuel for the alternate is 1.2 tons. Flight time, extra flight time then 1.3 tons and 46 minutes. Peter Scarab, hello from Denmark. Hope you're well. And Manos, hello from a snowy Athens. I know. How often does that happen? Hey, Willie. Good to see you. Morning, Jayhawk. Okay, happy with that. On to the performance page then. So let's get our calculator. Okay, so we're taking off from... Where is it? Echo, November, Bravo, Romeo. Runway 35. Live METAR. Conditions dry. Anti-ice is going to be on, I think, for this. Takeoff weight is... what was the takeoff weight again? 61.5. That takeoff CFG was 24.7. Oh no, it's now 25.1. Enter that. Flex, config, packs off, and calculate. There we are. So, config 1, flex of 68, 136, 136, 138, green dot 210. Let's pop all that information in. So 136, 136. Interestingly enough, this could actually go wrong because we're going to have the packs turned on, which reduces engine, not the packs, sorry, we're going to have anti-ice turned on, which reduces the engine performance. But at the moment, the takeoff performance calculator does not yet take anti-ice into consideration. So, that could be interesting. We'll see what happens. Flaps 1, and the flex is 68. Wonderful. So we've got thrust reduction acceleration of 1148. And engine out is 1148 as well. Lovely. One last thing to pop in there on the flight plan page. I'm just going to add the waypoint IDAVA, IDAVA, and that's for our missed approach, not our missed approach, our engine out. So non-standard engine out at 6.7 DME from Fox Lima Sierra. Turn left heading 270, 2,500 feet. Turn left to Adava holding point, and we'll put the reciprocal there, so that will be 1567170. Back to the flight plan page, we should now see that is there. There it is. Okay, everything there looks good. Passengers are still boarding. I love the radar there. That looks quite neat. Outside air temperature is +6. Low level cloud, which is why the anti-ice is going to be used. Okay, so the cockpit prep is almost complete. Let's just see if ATC is still hanging around. Are they still online? Yeah, we're going to contact them in a minute then. 119.1. There we go. Right. One last thing to make sure I've got before we start. Yep. Warm cup of tea. Definitely feel like I need it this morning. I need all the caffeine I can get this morning. Okay, let's give ATC a call. Where are we? We're stand 24 today, and we've got information Papa. Bergen Tower, good afternoon, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, stand 24 requesting Alpha clearances filed to Copenhagen, and we have information Papa on board. Type A320neo.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, Western Tower, good afternoon. Information Quebec is currently valid. Clear to Copenhagen via Tinnick 2 Delta departure, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 6473.
Cleared via the Tinnick 2 Delta departure, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 6473, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, feedback correct.
Wonderful. Let's get the squawk in there. And that initial climb, 6,000.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
That's great, thank you.
Okay, so let's do a departure brief. We are starting. I'm going to do this very carefully because I do not know this airport at all, so don't want to get lost. So stand 24, we will push back. Presumably, they'll have us pushing back facing south, unless they want us to push back all the way to Mike. Then we'll push back facing west. From there, I assume it's either going to be down either Whiskey or Yankee to Alpha 9. Just thinking, if he wants us to go Alpha 8, then we'll go Toga. But as the calculator at the moment hasn't got the ability to add in the intersections, but so we'll request Alpha 9. William Banton, good morning, sir. Hope you're well. On departure then, a nice straight out departure to Adido, right hand turn to 831,
Bergen Tower, good
max speed
afternoon.
250.
28 Sierra Alpha, type A320neo, stand 28 Information Quebec, requesting IFR clearance to Copenhagen.
Alpine 280 Alpha, Flatland Tower, good afternoon. Clear to Copenhagen via Teaneck 2 dot.
So just get rid of ATC for a moment. So that's how we're going to fly, taxi and fly the departure. Weather to be aware of here, as we've already asserted, it's low level cloud, but visibility is still good. If we needed to come back in on runway 35, we've got runway visual range well above 800 meters, so no problems getting back in here. Our departure weight is below the maximum landing weight, that's no issue. Aircraft type is the experimental version of the fly-by-wire mod. No times that are going to concern us for this departure. Threats to be aware of: we do have terrain to the north and east. Sorry, just to the east as we depart. Minimum safe altitude is 5,500. Our initial climb goes up to 6,000, so that would be why. If in the event of an emergency, standard Airbus emergency brief. Engine out procedure here is non-standard. We fly 6.7 DME, make a left turn to heading 270. Then once we're at 2,500 feet, we would turn left back to Idava holding point, which, as we can see from the navigation display, is almost setting us up perfectly for a arrival back in on the ILS runway 35. We'd continue our climb nicely up to 6,000 feet, maintain clearance of the minimum safe altitude. Okay, I think we're done. Let's do the before start checklist to the line. So, cockpit preparation is all complete. Signs are on and auto. Our ideas should have 3 nav green, which I've already checked, but just so you guys can see that, there we go, 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 5480, is checked and balanced. Altimeter is 1012.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck this morning, let me welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft as you settle in for what we hope is going to be a most enjoyable flight. The weather today doesn't look to be posing much of a problem, so we should have a nice smooth ride for you throughout the duration of the flight. And as the cabin crew continue making their last preparations, if you could please assist them by getting yourselves sat down, your seatbelts fastened, and make yourselves nice and comfortable. The ground crew have now finished loading the aircraft, and we're just about finished with all our pre-flight checks, so it won't be long until we are pushing back. If you could please give the cabin crew your full attention as they go through the safety briefing, we'd very much appreciate it. So on behalf of myself and the first officer, we'd like to say thank you for choosing EasyJet today, and we look forward to giving you a safe flight.
Right, I think we're almost ready for pushback. We'll get the ground crew into position in a moment.
Ready to push back, so if you could please arm the door there and cross-check. Thank you.
Plan of the performance calculator is not out yet. It is still being tested. Danny, the engine out procedure is not on the charts, so you are correct. Correct there. Pranav, I would say if I had to put a label on it, it would be closed alpha at the moment. Right, let me get back on ATC's frequency and we'll tell them we're ready to push back. And Tower Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, stand 2-4, we're ready for push and start.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, push and start approved, QNH 1012.
Push and start approved, QNH 1012. And do you have any preference to the pushback? Would you like us to go back onto Mike?
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, straight back pushback is mostly preferred, but if you want to push onto Mike, you are approved to do it, so.
No problem, we'll push back straight facing south on Whiskey then, if that's okay.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, approved as requested.
Wonderful. Before we start checklist then below the line in a minute, let's just get the beacon light on and transponder, etc, etc.
Cessna Tower Alpine 28 Sierra
Windows and doors are
Alpha,
closing on, beacon light is on,
28
phone
request
is not on
push and
silent,
start.
parking brake is set.
Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha, push and start approved, QNH 1012.
This is ground.
Push and start approved,
Stand by.
QNH 1012, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha.
Quick look outside, I just want to see what is behind us.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. Standing by for pushback.
Okay, let's
Cockpit
go.
to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Okay, back we go. So let's get the engine started. Engine mode selected to start and starting engine 1. Seems to have brightened up since the stream began, so that's quite nice. Maybe we'll see some of that nice scenery on departure. Hey Nick, didn't see you creep into the chat. Hope you're well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
Some absolutely gorgeous looking scenery, isn't there? But then that is Scandinavia. Danny, you're flying with us, not online, but we'll just imagine it. You need to get on VATSIM, Danny. Come and join us. But yeah, doesn't that just look simply beautiful and stunning? SAS says nice pushback. Well, we did check with ATC that we were able to do this, and he was fine with it, so that's good. Not sure where the pushback tug has gone though. So pushback tug is most certainly clear, because well, he's over there somewhere. Let's get rid of that. Engine number 2 is all good and stable, so let's do those flows for the after starts. So engine mode selected to normal, and we're going to get the APU bleed off. Ooh, what's that that's been turned off? Let's not turn that off. APU masters can come off. We're going to put the anti-ice on. Although actually, we might not need it now. Might not need it. Let's leave that off.
Tower Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha, request taxi.
And
Alpine 28 Sierra
spoilers,
Alpha,
rudder,
taxi,
flaps.
Echo, Yankee, holding point runway 35, and if you like,
set the trim.
intersection alpha 8 is available.
Echo Yankee 35, and we'll take intersection Alpha, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha.
Flight control check.
Alpine 28
Full
Sierra
left.
Alpha, confirm intersection
Full right.
alpha 8.
Neutral, full up.
Yes,
Full down.
Alpha 8, Alpine
Neutral
28
rudder.
Sierra Alpha.
Full right, rudder,
Alpine 28
full
Sierra
left,
Alpha, roger.
and
Taxi,
neutral.
Echo Yankee, holding point alpha 8.
Echo Yankee Alpha 8, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha.
Okay, pushback tug is clear. Let's see which way he wants us to get to the runway. And Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is ready for taxi.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, taxi, Whiskey Hotel, holding point runway 35, and would you like alpha 8 as well?
If possible, could we please take Alpha 9 for departure? Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Okay, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, roger. Hold position, then follow your company A320 when passing from your back to holding point runway 35.
Roger, we'll hold position then follow the company A320 Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. That's quite neat of the controller. It'll get him past us. He can be doing the intersection departure whilst we carry on taxiing. Reason for doing that is just because I haven't got the performance data yet for an intersection departure. But it gives us time to get things all set. Let's use the time wisely so we can get the auto brake on. We can get the non-existent weather radar turned on as well. I'll ding the cabin, so that's done.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, company A320 is passing you on your right side now.
Roger, we'll follow the company traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. I've just dinged the cabin. Why has that not cleared the low-rate cabin? Oh, there we go. Okay, release the parking brake, and we'll roll slightly forward. Lovely. Sim's looking fantastic.
13 knots, runway 35 clear for takeoff.
Runway 35 clear for takeoff, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha.
Okay, so we can do the PEDS check. Actually, we'll just get the taxi light on. I didn't turn that on because we were stationary, so we've got that on now. So, PEDS check, no change to the performance. Flex is going to be 68. engine out procedure is as briefed. It's non-standard left turn at 6.7 miles from Fox Lima Sierra. Get on the navigation display, there it is. Heading 270, then at 2,500 feet, a left turn to the Adiva holding point, inbound track 350, left turns. Departure is the Tinnick 2 Delta, stop altitude is 6,000.
Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike via Alpha 9, line up runway 35 and wait.
Via Alpha 9, line up runway 35 and wait. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, before takeoff checklist. Actually, we didn't do the after start checklist, did we? But anti-ice is off, ecam status is checked, pitch trim is 25.1, rudder is 0. Before takeoff checklist, flight controls are checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting is config 1, and FMA takeoff data 136 blue, 138 magenta, climb nav blue, 1FD2, 6000, flex 68, ecam memo, takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed. Oh, HD is going to yell at me for saying flap setting config 1. Oh no, config 1's right. It's config 1 plus F, which they don't use. What gorgeous scenery. We don't fly in Scandinavia nearly often enough. Look at that. Approach path is indeed clear. Let's get all the lights on. Packs 1 and 2 off.
Alpine 2 Sierra Alpha, monitor Unicorn 122.8. Have a nice flight.
Over to Unicom 122.8. Thanks for your service, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha.
Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike, wind 270 at 13 knots, runway 35 cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 35, Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike. Engine 1's going to be critical then on our departure today. The windsock there giving us a hefty reminder. Look at this. Gorgeous. Okay, I think we are ready to go. So, before takeoff checklist below the line, cabin is secured, engine mode selector is normal, TCAS TARA packs are off, double check that, and anti-ice is off. Fantastic. Okay, takeoff. Start the chrono. Wait. There. We'll leave that at 20. Can't have that at 40. Predictive wind shear doesn't work. Okay. Set thrust 50% N1. And set takeoff thrust. Man flex SRS. I can feel that wind already coming in from the left. Quite a bit of it as well, actually.
100 knots, check.
V1, rotate. Ooh, wow. Nav.
Gear up.
That was wonderful. I really enjoyed that. A little bit of fighting with the aircraft in the wind. Not fighting, teasing. Okay, set climb thrust. Thrust climb, climb. Autopilot 1 coming on, that's engaged.
Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike, monitor Unicorn 122.8. Have a safe flight.
Over to Unicom, thank you so much for the service. Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike, bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, config 0, let's clean up and disarm the spoilers. Now we can pop that anti-ice on. No ATC around, so we're going to clear ourselves up to flight level 200. We're now in open climb. 200 blue. Oh, wow. If I was a millionaire and didn't have to work, I'd just spend my days doing this. So yeah, nice flex takeoff. Calculator doing its job. Barry Barton, it did seem like more runway was indeed used with flex. That's exactly right. Let's get up to cruise and then I'll explain something about it. Something called the balanced field. As yes, pilot 7. Nice weather, indeed.
Canadian 45 Alpha, Pleasant Tower, ready 5.
Good day, this is Canadian 45 Alpha.
Yeah, Marovich 12 it is, the experimental build.
To Copenhagen.
Canadian 45 Alpha, clear to Copenhagen via Tuxhill 3 Delta departure, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 2575.
Clear to Copenhagen via to Tuxhill 3
Ladies and
Delta
gentlemen,
departure.
please keep your seatbelt fastened
initial
while the
climb
seatbelt sign is on.
760.
We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated.
I'm not really talking here, guys, am I? I'm just
End of the cabin.
completely admiring the scenery. I'm sorry.
Initial climb 6,000.
This includes e-cigarettes.
Yes, my apologies.
Let's get back in the flight deck, shall we?
Scandinavian 45 Alpha.
Scandinavian 45 Alpha, lead back.
Loving the custom LNAV that the fly-by-wire guys have got in there. Right, we're past 10,000 feet. For those of you wondering why we're still going faster than 250 knots, even though we haven't yet passed the constraint, it's because once we're above 10,000 feet, those constraints aren't taken into consideration anymore. Get through this first turn, and then we'll get the passenger signs off. That wind starting to come in now and push us all the way down to Copenhagen. So let's have a quick look in the progress page of the box. Flight level 390 is our planned cruise. That's available on our Optimum, so let's go ahead. Flight level 390 set. 390 blue. Okay, seatbelt signs can now come off, and we're also going to clear the RadNav page out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So just keeping an eye on how it flies this path. It perhaps overshot just a little bit, and the reason for that is because we were increasing our speed as we'd leveled off passing 10,000 feet. But it's bringing us back on track quite nice. So I have now switched over to Unicom. Sadly no ATC around. We can also get rid of the fix info. Don't need that. That's gone. Airborne Geek, the cabin callouts are from a mod called Self-Loading Cargo. Had to think then. Little bit turbulent. That's just blooming gorgeous. Ooh, very turbulent. Might have been a bit too quick to get those seatbelt signs turned off. That wing flex is something else though, isn't it? Frederic on Facebook. I'm indeed here. I'm reading you, mate. Everyone else is probably at work. Goodness me. Right. Let's redact the seatbelt sign, shall we? They're coming back on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are traveling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Ebon Geek says, love the streams, by the way, extremely insightful. Ebon Geek, thank you so much. That's exactly what we hoped for. All here to learn, myself included. Brian, you love the wing flex. It was really nice looking, that, wasn't it? Dwyle, wow, that's some wing flexing. It's beautiful. Mr. Fuji Fudge, it was crazy turbulence. Mark says there's a few coffees on the ceiling now. Well, the maximum point at which we should really experience the most severe turbulence is probably in around 20 minutes time at a waypoint called Nerdo. So we'll see what happens when we get there. Danny says, also I noticed when you go direct it seems to try and follow that specific line it calculated from when you hit direct, so you get a little zigzag, although thereafter it's normal again. What you can, so a little bug in the system, but fly-by-wire will sort it. What you can do, Danny, if you get that, is instead of going direct to begin with, if you can see the waypoint you're going to be heading to on your navigation display, even if you need to zoom out somewhat just so you can sort of see it, what you can do is you can pull the heading bug and start to sort of fly towards it, then do direct, and then you'll get a nice straight line, rather than, as you say, it not calculating it exactly right. Willie says, we had a question about flex and why do I do it? What does it do? Right, so in its simplest terms, you are lying to the engine. You're telling the engine that the outside air temperature is actually a lot hotter than it really is. Now, the engine is obviously limited by their exhaust gas temperatures. They don't want to create thrust that they won't create thrust which will force the exhaust gas temperatures over a certain critical amount. Don't ask me what that temperature is. I've no idea. I'm sure it's written down somewhere. So if the engines think that the outside air temperature is really hot, say 70 degrees, then it is going to use only the amount of thrust that would keep the exhaust gas temperature within the limits, but take into the account the fact that outside it's 70 degrees. So it's I guess it's almost subtracting 70 degrees off its limit. So yeah, you're lying to the engines about how much what the outside air temperature is, and thus it will produce a lower amount of thrust because it thinks it can't get any hotter, it can't produce any more, it can't work any harder. So with that, the engines will of course roll you down the runway, but at a slower rate. It won't use as much fuel, the wear and tear will not be as severe on the engines, and that's why airlines do it. Airlines do it because it means that the engines last longer, saves a bit of fuel, and airports really like you doing it because it's not as noisy for the surrounding neighbours. So hopefully that answers the question as to why we use a flex temp for the departure. Coming up to flight level 280, we're still a little choppy, aren't we? Might be like this the entire way. Maybe those seatbelt signs won't be coming off and no one will be getting their cup of tea. Hope that's not the case. I need a cup of tea. Now, just keep an eye on that target that's I can see in front of us. We have a small intruder, to use the technical term. The aviator, hello. SAS Pilot 7, love the streams, good job. Oh, thanks so much, SAS. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's 20 miles away, so I'm not overly concerned. Look at the crab angle on that. If we have a quick look outside, can we see it at all? Possibly not. Although there, actually, I think that angle gives you a decent picture of us sliding through the wind. Ah, so Brian, you've just... the stream is obviously 30 seconds behind us of you, so why is the plane not flying the track? It is exactly flying the track. So, although actually, oh, that's a good point, yeah, why is it not flying the track? Why is it not flying to Ringbow? Unless it's because we missed it. What's going off here? Interesting spot. Alright, let's go direct to Ringbow. The way I'm going to do this, yeah, we must have bypassed Tinnig and not flown close enough to it, so that is interesting. Let's pop that into heading mode. Just bring her around. Let's go direct to our next waypoint, which is Ridbow. Oh, I know why it's not doing it. I know exactly why it's not doing it. I had a duplicate waypoint in there which I didn't clear out. There we go, back into nav mode. I think because we had a duplicate waypoint, which I'd not seen, to be fair, so that was my fault. That's why I should always check the flight plan. Oh, email. Yeah, that's why. The plane just got a little bit confused. That's one of the bugs of the experimental version, but it's a very easy bug that you can counteract by just checking your flight plan. There we go, now we've got heading and track. Different. Flight level 340. That's the one, Christian. It was the double SID waypoint. My fault. At least we're still flying in the general correct direction. Alright, I'm going to be brave. Seatbelt signs off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Willie says in the computer industry we call that the ID10T error. If you're just listening to this and not reading the chat, that might not make so much sense as it does seeing it written down. That reminds me, I can't do it on this channel. Maybe in the Discord server later, in the members lounge. I've got some great acronyms for you. Finn Muller, thank you so much for subscribing. Rosie Somerset says, "Your fault. Can I have that right? Have that in writing, ladies and gentlemen? Meet my mother." Why aren't you at work, Mom? I'm definitely not putting that in writing. It's here. It's there forever. I'm deleting the stream after it's finished. Audimans 2, I'm afraid I have no idea when we're getting the terrain radars. And I know that if you ask fly-by-wire, they're not going to be able to give you a definitive date either, just because it's ready when it's ready. They're all volunteers at the end of the day. Nabil, do I have a tutorial for the replay? Yes, I do, and that came out. When did that come out now? Honestly, can't remember when the replay came out. Was that with the last sim update? Nadia Ree, thank you for subscribing. Christian, you've screenshotted it. Fantastic. Well, let me, guys, introduce you to somebody else. Old Novice Pilot, who is in the chat. Let me introduce you all to my dad and the programmer of the Takeoff and Performance Calculator. So, now you can bug him with questions. He's so fed up with taking calls and text messages from me. 500 feet to go, then we'll be at our top of climb. Brian Dyer, you don't have to thank him. He's right there. Old Novice Pilot. You're not that old, Dad. So the aircraft that's in front is 20 miles in front, so 20 miles in trail, that's not going to pose any sort of problems when we get to Copenhagen. Old Novice Pilot says bye. Willie says commiserations. Mac Alt Star and Alt Cruise. Not a long flight. We're now pretty close to getting the arrival briefed. While is the top bar not working again? Typical. Typical, typical.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and shouldn't be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means that you will not spill any of your drinks that you may have from the cabin crew as they begin to start making their way around the aircraft. Could you please ensure that the aisles are kept clear so the cabin crew can offer you their cabin service, which will begin shortly. A reminder that EasyJet Sim Pilot channel members are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Okay, so just looking at the chart here for our arrival, and I want to be, we sometimes get with ATC Online, Copenhagen are known to bring you in really short on finals. So I'm going to go for 10,000 feet here at Tango November Oscar. So we want 10,000 feet at Tango November Oscar. In order to do that, particularly with this tailwind as well, we're going to start that about 107 miles away from there. So I'm just popping that onto the navigation display so I can see just how far we've got to go. I didn't realise that was in full screen mode. Snow-covered mountains. Let's have a look, see where that is. Right, okay, so not long to go at all. Right, so we've got flight level 1 00 at Tango November Oscar. From there, it's a manual leg bringing us in. Are ATCs still around? Right, okay, the tower is online. So the tower is online, that's okay, but unfortunately they won't bring us in, so we will have to do this manually. Just checking, 80s, ILS visual approach on request, runway 22 left. Yeah, okay, just reading the 80s there. So we're going to do this, we're going to vector ourselves in. ATC would do this normally for us, but they're not online. So from Tango November Oscar, we will see if we can tidy up the flight plan then and have a look how this is. So we'll just scroll through there. Now, if we get rid of the discontinuity just here. Oh, we can't do that because there's a manual leg. Right, in that case, let's clear the manual leg out. Now we can clear the discontinuity out. That will right itself as we start to slow down. But yeah, we're going to come in from Tango November Oscar, and then we'll just fly a downwind, base, and final. Alright, let's get some information regarding the approach in there. So it's going to be an arrival on 22 left. Transition altitude here is 5,000 feet. Check out the platform altitude as well, which is 3,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude is, as we're coming in, 2,100 feet. And our decision height, I'm just checking, sky condition overcast 900 feet, that's fine, that's still well above 550 meters. Cat 1 will get us in. Visibility is okay as well. Visibility is actually reported as more than 10 kilometers, so yeah, still Cat 1. So decision altitude is going to be 201. QNH there then is currently 1019. ILS frequency is 1095. Airport elevation is 8. And for the missed approach, climb straight ahead to 500 feet or 1 mile from the ILS DME. Whichever is later, then turn left to 187, climbing to 3000 and inform ATC, so 3000 feet. Okay, so that's the plan. Let's just get back onto the arc mode, see what's happening. Not far from the top of descent. Right, in the middle of all that, I completely missed. Welcome to our latest new channel member, Danny. Hey, Danny, thanks so much for joining us and becoming a member. Really, really kind of you. And I know you've been with us quite a while, Danny, so great to have you on board as a member. If you're on our Discord server as well, Danny, make sure you make yourself known to us so we can get you in the members lounge. Thank you so much for your support, Danny. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the First Officers Club. Skies are clearing now as we head down towards Copenhagen. Aviator says, what is the longest flight you've ever made in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020? Probably about 8 hours. probably about 8 hours. Christian, how about you use these waypoints for the approach? We could put our own waypoints in now as well, of course. Obviously, we've got the beauty of that, of custom waypoints in there now. Oh, Nick, has ATC gone offline now? Ah, that's a shame. Oh well. Never mind. Never mind indeed. I guess as long as we're still coming and land on 22 left. Someone told me the other day that it wasn't on VATSIM, but IVAO had them landing on 22 right, which was never normally done in the real world. You have to fly over the terminal to land on that runway. It's a shame that ATC have gone offline, and I saw actually the entire area sector was online this morning, so we've got a little bit more time as well till we start to get down. Let's just brief what happens after we land. So we land on 22 left, and then we vacate on Bravo 5 or Bravo 4. I'm just going to check out any information regarding that. To be fair, low visibility procedure, I don't think that's in place at the moment. Taxi restrictions. What is our taxi? It's going to be Bravo, crossing runway 30, and then we park just here, don't we? So it's going to be Bravo Romeo Whiskey is our way in. So let me just read those charts again, make sure there's nothing that I'm planning to do that's not going to work. Bravo Romeo Whiskey, any of those? Taxiway Bravo, east of uniform restricted to B, that's fine. We're not going to be towed. Wind shear may occur on short final when the wind is 200 to 340 at 112 knots. And birds. I'd love to see birds in the sim that actually affect us. So I've just sent off for a weather request as well. So yeah, I think we're good. We know where it is we're coming in. Top percent in about 30 miles time. Gonna make landfall in a minute. A quick look outside to really appreciate the beauty of this simulator. Oh wow. That really is nice. So that weather information has now come through. We're going to put that into the performance page. So in Copenhagen we've got winds 260 at 18 knots. Might feel that a little bit. We'll see. Visibility is fine. Broken 1200, QNH is 1018. Temporary broken 1500, and it is 6 degrees. Do you know what? I'm not going to bore you while I put that all into the box. You know how that's done. So I'm going to just do that while we enjoy the beautiful view from the outside of the aircraft. Can't do that in the real world, so we might as well do it here. 1018 is the QNH. That temperature is 6 degrees. Temperature is +6. Wind is 260 at 18. And the decision altitude is 201. Right, the box is all set. Peter, you control an IVA, and most of the time Copenhagen, we never use 22 right for arrivals. Must have been a new member. Possibly so. Yeah. I can't really ever think of a time you'd use 22 right for arrivals. This is where live weather is far better than any other weather preset you could ever get.
Catchment traffic Alpine 8 Sierra Alpha, leaving flight level 390, descending flight level 120, level by Trano. With ATC offline, we're going to plan for SC1 November landing with a 22 left captain.
Yeah, the weather preset, that aircraft you just heard, by the way, was the aircraft about 20 miles in trail of us. We've got some great presets, but I just think this looks fantastic. Mike Searle, hello mate, hope you're well. Quite hazy as well down there, isn't it? Looking forward to this landing. A little windy. So those winds will be coming in from the right as we come in. Mike asks, what do I think about the Trevor Jacob crash video? I've not seen that. Have I missed something? So for those of you that have arrived a little late to the stream, let me just give you the arrival brief. So, straightforward on the Tepsi 2 Fox. On leaving Trano, will fly heading 089. That will keep us nicely prepped to come and fly in around and land on 22 left. Max speed 250 knots at this point. And then vectoring ourselves in with no ATC on online. What we could actually do is we could put I could put Lamox in there, couldn't I? Could do that, just so we've got some somewhere to go. So if we're 3,000 feet at Lamox, that should work out quite nicely. Let's jump into the flight deck and do that. We're going to start our top of descent now as well. So let's get down to flight level 100. Thrust idle over descent 100 blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear and the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our EasyJet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
There we go. So we are now on our way down. We'll keep an eye on our distance. I can also put the Castrop VOR in the RadNav page just for some situational awareness. Turn that on. 119 miles away. Not picking that up just yet. The pilot, yeah, this is the experimental version. Nick used to fly the 747-100. Wow. Tell you what I'm also going to do. I'm going to add this waypoint in here. I'm going to add in a waypoint on the 23 or the 023 radial out from Castro, just here, which is going to be about a bit of a guesstimate here. Call it 11 miles. Call it 11 miles. No, 10 miles out. 10 miles out, and it will just bring us into Lamox a little nicer. Actually, no, 11 miles is good. 11 miles is good. Let's try that. It's going to be the place, which is Castrop, the bearing, which is 023, and the distance, I said 11. I'm going to pop that in. There. Let me just see how that now looks on the flight plan page. There we go. That's just a little neater to come in and intercept the ILS. Also in the progress page, I'm going to put in Lamox. So I've got a distance to that. We're currently 100 miles, and at Lamox I want to be 3,000 feet. 3,000 feet at Lamox. Andrea 604, I'm afraid I don't know how far VNAV development is. If you're wanting the best that they've got to offer, then the experimental version is the one you'll want to go for. If I turn on VOR2 as well, we'll have a distance to Tango November Oscar, which is just there. So as I said, 10,000 feet I wanted by Tango November Oscar. So profile there is looking quite nice as well. Wayne, hello! Hope you're well. Wow, Willie, I've just seen the list of aircraft you have flown in. 737-400, 800, MD-80, Lockheed 11, A310, A320, CEO and Neo 330, 340, 737-200, 737-400, 777, 787, Saab 340-8, Cessna and the Piper Warrior. Wow. Would have been easy to list aircraft you've not flown in. Oh, and the 747-200 and 400. Goodness me. So, according to the flight plan then, we can use the track miles on there as well, which is really useful. According to the flight plan, we should be on the ground in around 25 minutes. Get some anti-ice on as well in a few moments. I don't know if Dark Fury is in the chat at all, but if he is, I'm going to thank him again for some of the small tweaks and tips that he gave us for sorting the PC out, it has run like an absolute dream, this simulator, since having a session with him. Lewis, good afternoon. You're watching from the football training ground. Well, make sure you get the rest of the squad to subscribe, Lewis. Hope you're well, mate, and not injuring anything. Wayne says, have I rejected your suggestion for the name of the new flex calculator called FlyMate on the grounds that it sounds like an app to assist with the gentleman's trouser buttons? That wasn't the reason. But I think, actually, there was a couple of suggestions from different people with that chose the same name, and I actually quite liked it. So obviously the real app that the Airbus pilots use is called FlySmart. Well, we're going to have SimSmart. SimSmart A320 performance calculator. These are some of the best views I have seen in a long time. Looking impeccable. Willie, Wayne enters the chat. Wayne, I'd love to sit there and have a drink with you at some point, but I don't think I could actually get through the drink without spitting it out at some point. Okay, we're going to get the anti-ice now. And great timing. First Officer George is going nuts. I'll be back with you in a second. Oh, and we're back with you. First Officer George, comic timing. Mr. V, there's probably a very good chance, but it'll be the A320 performance calculator bit that's obviously quite important to us. What does the other one simulate, out of curiosity? So we're just going to reduce our speed a little bit. We're nicely below the profile, so we've got lots of time here. Tell you what, the Castrop VOR can't be very strong. We've not even picked it up yet. Willie says, Wayne, I'm surprised you didn't go for the Catford Sewage Works flex calculator. Oh, Mr. V, if it's not in English, I think we're safe. Jonathan, yeah, these are some of the best looking clouds I've seen in a long time. That speed I'll start. Dropping through the cloud cover is going to be indeed beautiful. Right, coming up on 10,000 feet, we're going to get those turned on. Hey, good afternoon, HD. How are you? Okay, approach checklist. Arrival brief is complete. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums 201 set, both sides. Engine mode selector is normal. EFB is stowed. Okay, once we pass TNO, we'll start the descent down. Nice and steady. Speed 250 knots. Once again, HD, everything, yeah, it's gone quite nice. Little bumpy on the way out, as Danny's just said. In fact, it was rather bumpy on the way out, but I tell you what, it looked fantastic. It was a wonderful takeoff as well. There was a little gust of wind as we took off, which just swayed us around, not over violently or anything like that, and it was controllable. But it was just nice that it wasn't on the rails. It was, you know, the big wind vane at the back of the aircraft was certainly catching it. Antrak, good afternoon to you. Okay, we've got about 60 miles to run. We're going to get down now to our platform altitude 3,000 feet. I'm also going to reduce speed 250 knots. So, thrust idle, open descent, and we're going to set QNH 1018. $3,000 blue. Parasim says the sim's looking very nice. It is today. It's been absolutely gorgeous. Every single view, in fact, has looked stunning. That looks amazing. And yeah, everywhere has looked blooming beautiful. So we're nicely below the profile, so I'm just going to arrest the VS rate a little bit.
Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha, we're 25 miles to the north and west of the airfield at 6,000 feet, QNH 1019, vectoring for approach runway 22 left, Castro.
And company aircraft inbound to Castro Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is behind you about 12 miles on trail. Unfortunately, HD, and anyone else that's joining us a little bit later on in the stream, we did have ATC online, but they must have gone for dinner. Straight after this, I think I'm going for a nap. The kids had us up at 4 AM this morning. Goodmander, hello mate, how you doing? Goodman says, afternoon Gavin, we're flying to Bergen to Copenhagen while you're flying from somewhere to Athens. It's a full tank flight. Goodmander, you missed, we were in Gothenburg a couple of weeks back. We came to see you. Oh, do you know, I could have put great grand money on HD saying that we're doing 22 left visual, and I was just saying we can't do that. Let's activate the approach phase. Christopher says the brown part of the side window looks odd. No other streamers had that even though they fly the experimental. That's strange then, isn't it? HC, cross the city coast at 3000, 180, flap 2, turn for a 4-mile final. Simples and good fun. Sounds like you're reminiscing there, HD. I need to keep an eye. We may end up flying it manually anyway. I'm keeping an eye on this this track that we've got. Here we go, down through the clouds.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Frederick, a non-precision approach to Calvi. Non-precision approaches are always fun. Christian, oh, I'm flying 1 knot less than max speed, making Greta proud. Yeah, that's just me, not scrolling far enough, or rather scrolling too far. Clouds looking superb.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
28 Sierra Alpha, right base, runway 22 left, Castro.
So I believe that is the aircraft that's in front of us. We're going to start slowing down to green dot in a minute or two. Do you know what? It is quite hard because I just want to look out the window. I really do. I just want to enjoy, leave it on autopilot all the way in. Okay, so slowing down now to green dot. Let's go thrust idle, open descent.
Yes, that's 632 Quebec Sierra, establishing localizer runway 22 left.
Distance?
Yeah, so just looking at this
Aircraft on the
track.
localizer 22 left, what distance?
Looking at this track, need to be a little bit careful.
Roger, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha, just coming established, localizer runway 22 left at 8 miles.
Roger.
I think the cloud base was quite low today, HD. I want to say 900 feet for some of them. So now we've got down to green dot, continuing our descent down to 3000. Loving the low sun. If anyone wants a good 1 hour's flight suggestion, I think this is going to be one that I suggest. Gorgeous scenery. We pushed back, what, 54 minutes ago? So I can see on the TCAS we've got traffic on the ILS final at the minute. Oh, they look quite close together actually.
CAS with traffic, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha, fully established ILS, runway 22 left, 4 miles.
They look very close. Can't see them though.
Cabin crew, seats for them.
Okay, let's start and configure. So, flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. Let's roll our speed back 180 knots. Glide slope coming up to meters. There's alt. So you can see the tailwind we've got at the moment. What is it? 26018, I think.
CAS drop traffic Turkish 2, Quebec Sierra going around for a second time.
With a huge sigh in front of that call. Yeah, we're definitely not visual at the moment, but here comes the right base. Copenhagen traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, making right base runway 22 left at 11 miles. Flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2. And Lockstar, Glide Slope Star, Cat 3 dual autopilot 1 and 2. Turbo Life, really pleased to hear that, mate. Well done. Sorry, I am just concentrating on our landing now.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing. 2,500.
Where's this guy going? Copenhagen traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, established 22 left at 7 miles. Ooh, look at that track.
Copenhagen traffic, Alpine 28 Sierra Alpha, runway 22 left vacated.
Okay, so we're going to go speed 6 miles. Ugh. Still can't see anything. 6 mile final then. Gear. Spoilers. Flaps 3. Speed checked. Flaps 3. Tell you what, that metal's spot on, isn't it? This does look like a nasty crosswind, but I'm hopeful that wind will die off as we get lower and lower. Nicholas Reese, hello, good morning. Flaps full, speed checked, flaps full, landing checklist, cabin is secured, auto thrust speed, go around altitude 3000, set, decam memo, landing no blue. Castro traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha, Mike 22 left, 3 mile final.
1,000.
1,000 feet. I expect that wind to die off, but honestly, probably not by... it's not going to move direction by much. Right, that looks gorgeous. Autopilot off, I have control. That actually does look good, doesn't it? The temptation to sightsee. Try and keep on that centre line and going down, of course. There, we can just see the wind starting to drop away.
Cast up traffic, Scandinavian 48 Marble, turning right base, runway 22 left, 14 miles.
So teaser back onto the centre line
400.
by pointing left.
$300. 100 above. 200.
Cast traffic, Turkish to Quebec Sierra, establish it localizer.
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And spoilers deployed, reverses on. Reverse green. 70 knots, reverses off. We didn't really acquire the auto brake for that. We know we've got traffic behind, so let's get out of the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until
Castro
the
traffic
fasten
runway 22
seatbelt
left
sign
vacated.
has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
And then we're going to cross runway 30 as briefed in a second. I'm just tidying the aircraft up. Those reverses are powerful. Yeah, must admit, I didn't expect us to get off at that taxiway, but we did. So, job done. So we're going to continue our taxi now. Bravo, cross runway 30, and then it's Romeo and Whiskey to get onto our usual stand. Ooh, look at the FedEx.
Traffic, Scandinavian 48 Bravo, 8 miles final, runway 22 left.
It's not an active runway, this one. We'll leave the strobes off. Nils Eric missed the flight. It's been a nice one as well, must admit. What was that, HD? Don't forget the saggy bits. Yeah, they're coming in now. How cool is that? That is awesome. Wonder who's flying that and how far they're flying. Is it going back all the way to Memphis in the USA? Nick says that's a nice short hop. You know what? It really was. And the only reason I wanted to do this flight was because I wanted to do Bergen because of the scenery that's available, and I saw that ATC was online over Scandinavia and at Kastrup, so I thought this would be great. Anyway, they've disappeared. They've gone offline. But what a fantastic flight indeed. Really enjoyed that. And taking out the automobile. Here's a great question. So Barry's just said flaps up for taxi. No? Yes. Yes. Except when? Except when? When would you not put your flaps up for taxi? I want to hear HD's answer to this as well, just to confirm that I'm right. So we're now on whiskey, and we'll take the first stand, which is coming up here. HD says when I forget.
Castle Tower, Scandinavian 48 Bravo, short final 2 to left, Scandinavian Castle Tower.
Let's get those taxi lights off. And parking brake set. APU is running. Let's get the bleed air on. Engine 1 and 2. Seatbelt signs. Beacon light. Welcome to Copenhagen, guys. Now, can I spawn any ground vehicles? Well done, Christian and Danny, for the ice and snow and cold weather, basically winter ops. And there is another reason too, which I think HD is going to help us all with. 1 second. So, let's have a look. Show flap 3 overhead. So, there you go. Jonathan says it's a interesting little satellite terminal. It's the EasyJet terminal. I don't think it was specifically designated that name, but yeah. Christopher, yeah, default scenery. I need to get Copenhagen payware because it'll be much, much more beautiful.
Copenhagen traffic, Scandinavian 48 Bravo, runway 2 left vacated, holding short for Turkish Airlines.
So there's the other one. Christian, temperatures over 30 degrees. Don't think you need to worry too much about that at this moment in time.
Cancel traffic FedEx 389 crossing runway 2 to left at India.
Christopher says flight temperatures Copenhagen is fantastic. We'll have to get that. We'll have to get that. Why am I looking at the landing flaps 3 button, by the way? I think I missed that. Passengers can deboard. Fantastic. Great flight, everybody. Okay, guys. I've really enjoyed that little jaunt. It was a gorgeous departure. Great scenery all the way down, actually. Helped, of course, by the live weather looking rather beautiful. Thank you so much to those of you who've flown with us today, to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during the stream today. A big thanks to you guys as well. To EasyJet in-pilot channel members, as always, my continued thanks for your support. And welcome to our new channel member, Danny Rubble. Most of you will have known Danny from the chat for a while now, but he's now become a member, so maybe we'll get him on Discord as well. Hope to see you guys very, very soon. Loving the AIG traffic that we've got today. Seriously, that's the first time we've seen a FedEx. That was that made the flight for me. And there's that Turkish Airlines. Look, he finally managed to get it down after 2 go-arounds. Thanks very much, guys. I look forward to seeing you all on the next flight. Bye-bye for now.
Traffic,